And I hope that we are live. Let me just check. I'll just minimize this and I'll go back over here. Yes, so we are live. And today we are going to do some coding challenges. As most of you know, we will do the first 5 coding challenges of the JavaScript coding challenge series. This was requested by Computer Coach. He's been requesting this for a long time, so finally I've got the time. So here we go. Today we are going to do some of the coding challenges, but before we do that, I'm just going to wait for some minute so that he can join, because this entire stream that I'm doing is his request. So I'm just going to wait for some time. And if any of you have any request for any video or a topic or a series or any stream, do let me know. You can let me know in the chat box here, or you can go to my Instagram. It is at instagram.com/hi Subham Saurabh. It is HISHUBHAMSAURAV. You can let me know over there, or you can also go to Twitter and ping me up there. So if you have any request, you can let me know on Instagram or at Twitter. Okay? Or the most easiest way to contact me would be to just leave a comment in any of my YouTube videos. If you have any request, then I'll surely consider that. Okay? So we can start, or I'll just wait for some more time. Okay, I'll wait for some more time. So the prerequisite for this live stream, to follow this live stream, is that you know the basics of JavaScript. Okay, you should know the basics of JavaScript before following any of this live stream. But I will try to bottle everything down, so that even if you don't know anything about it, then you'll be able to just follow along. But if you know JavaScript, then everything that we are going to do here will be very, very easy. Okay, so shall we start, or I'll just wait for some more time so that he can join? And if he joins by 4:04, then I'll start the session. So how are you guys doing today? I hope that all of you are doing just fine. And yeah, if you have any question regarding any of the coding challenge, regarding any of the problems, then make sure that you let me know in this chat box, and I will solve your doubts. Okay, so I think that I can do, yeah, I'll start this. Okay, so we have 5 challenges today, and in the first challenge we are going to find the simple interest. So this is everything, all the challenges that we are going to do over here are the same challenges that we have done in the JavaScript Hindi series. Okay, so this is nothing new, but it is just available, it will be available to you in English. So I'll be speaking and I will be explaining everything in English. So this is the first challenge we have to find. We have to write a function which will take the principal, the rate of interest, and time as input, and it will return the simple interest. Okay, so this is our first challenge. And our second challenge is that write a function which will take a list of number and it will return its sum. So in this challenge we have to write a function which will take a list of number or an array of numbers, all right, and it will return its sum. It's basic. We are going to use a for loop here. And in the third challenge we have to write a number which will take we have to write a function which will take a number, and we have to print its table, its mathematical table. So this one is also easy. We can use a for loop. And in the fourth challenge we have to write a function which will take an array of numbers, and it will calculate the average of number, and it will return the average. So this one is also easy. We just have to write a function, all right, and then that function will take an array of numbers, and then we have to calculate the average of number, and then we have to return that average. So this fourth one is also easy. And the fifth one, So the last challenge that we are going to do today, we have to write a function which will find a number in an array of number. And so basically what we are going to do in the fifth challenge is that we have to write a function, and that function will take a number or an array of numbers. So it will take an array of numbers, okay, and this function will find, okay, so it will take two input, it will take not input, it will take two parameters, and it will take a number and an array of number, and this function will find whether the number is available in that array or not. And if the number is available, then it will return true, and if that number is not available in the array, then it will return false. So all of these five challenges are basic, and it can be done using you know that for loop, you can use while loop, you can use whatever you want, but for this session, for this live stream, I think I'm going to stick with the for loop. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so should we start? All right, it's 4:06 and I think that we should start. Okay, so the first challenge obviously that we are going to do will be the simple interest one, and I'm again going to break it down for you, for those of you who cannot understand, or for those of you who don't know about this. So in the first challenge, we have to write a function. All right, let me just switch to that. Okay, yeah, first up I should explain what is going on here. So I have created a folder on my desktop with the name of Java or JS coding challenge and ENG obviously stands for English here. And in that folder we have two files. We have the challenge.js file and we have index.html file. All right, and in the index.html file I have linked this challenge.js file. So whatever we do here, it will get printed in the console, and to get to this console you just need to open your index.html file in your Chrome. All right, and then you need to go to this right click, and then you need to go to inspect, and there you will have to click on this console button over here, and then you will reach this file. Now to see whether this challenge.js file is linked or not, okay, we are going to do a console.log statement. So I'm just going to do a console.log, and I'm going to say welcome, and I'll just put a semicolon at the end, and then I will save this, and then I will refresh this. All right, so the file is linked, our challenge.js is working, and it is linked to this index.html which we have opened up in our Chrome browser. If you want to use any other browser, make sure that you do. Okay, there is no restriction in browser, you can use any browser you want, but don't use Internet Explorer, it will not work. All right, so we should start now because I've been talking a lot and have not started. So the first challenge, here we go. Yeah, that's okay. So in the first challenge we have to write a function which will take the principal, the rate of interest and the time as input, and it will return the simple interest. And we know the formula for simple interest. It is again very simple. Simple interest is equal to principal into rate of interest into time by 100. Right, so here is the formula. You can use this formula if you want, and now we should start. So first up we have to write a function, and that function I will call that function simple interest, just like that. And this will take 3 input. So this P will stand for principal, and this R will stand for rate of interest, and this T will stand for time. All right, and now we need to return the simple interest. Well, we have the formula, and yeah, so we have this formula, and we need to just apply this formula into our function. So what are we going to do? Well, we can create SI, which stands for simple interest, or we can just create simple interest, and in that we can perform the calculation. So our calculation will be, we have to multiply the principal, which is P in this case, we have to multiply into rate of interest, and then we have to multiply that into time, because this is the formula. and then after the multiplication we have to divide this whole by 100. So by 100, and there we go. Yeah, and now we are going to print it. So console.log, and we are going to print the simple interest. So simple interest, there we go, and I will put the semicolon at the end, and here I'm going to call the function so simple interest, and I'll pass what should I pass, 4000 of 4000, yeah, and the rate of interest will be 6%, and time will be 1 year. Yeah, okay. Now I will just go there and I will refresh this page, and you will see the result is 2,240. But this is not what we want to do. We don't want to print the result, we want to return the result. So I just printed it to show you that this is indeed working, but now I'm just going to return it. So return simple interest, just like that. And here now we need to print it, because we are just returning the value, we are not printing the value here. So here we need to use a console.log statement. So I'm just going to wrap this up in console.log, like that, and there we go. And if I save this again, this is working. All right, so this is working, and we have done our first program. It was very, very easy. That's why I didn't explain it into a great detail. All right, so let's see if you have any questions or not. Thanks a lot for making this in English. Welcome. I'm just doing this for you. भाई कुछ भी प्रोजेक्ट भी बना सकते हो जावास्क्रिप्ट पर. Yeah, obviously I can do some project. I have a digital clock application. I've done a project. It was a digital clock application. You can watch that on our channel. There. Yeah, I've done it in English and I've done it in Hindi too. So you can watch that. Devashish Mehta, hi bro. Hi. Okay. So now that we are done with the program number 1 or the challenge number 1, if you have any question regarding this program, you can let me know and I will solve your doubt right away. This was a fairly easy program. We are not doing anything crazy here. Yeah, okay, now I'll just start with the program number 2 or the challenge number 2. So what is this challenge? Well, it is saying that we have to write a function which will take a list of number as input and return it sum. Okay, so we have to again write a function, and this function is going to take a list of numbers, and this list of number basically means that this function will take an array of number as a parameter, and then we have to return its sum. So we have to add all those elements of that array and we have to return that sum. Makes sense? My name is Swarnodeep Sinha. I am computer coach. Yeah, hi Swapnodeep, how are you? So you have three account: Code with Swapnodeep and Swapnodeep Sinha and computer coach. Should I learn JavaScript? I don't like to code in HTML and CSS. Well, JavaScript is a great language, but if you don't like to code in HTML and CSS, then maybe you can learn JavaScript and you can do backend development, because in backend development you most likely are not going to do any of this stuff. You are most likely not going to write any HTML or CSS code, but you will see HTML and CSS code sometime, and you will have to do some of the HTML and CSS sometime. But if you really don't like that, then maybe you should look for Android development or any other stuff. Oh, I renamed my Google account to Swapnodeep Sinha right now. Oh, great. Yeah, so should we start with the second challenge? So we have to write a function. So first up we will write a function, and we have to, I'll call this sum of numbers. So sum of numbers, and this is our function, and this function is going to take a list of number. It basically means that it is going to take a array of numbers, right? So I'm going to call that numbers, and it is going to return its sum. Well, it is very easy. We just have to loop through all the element of this array. We just have to loop through all those element in this array that will be getting as a parameter. And when we are looping through it, when we are using a for loop and we are looping through every element, then what we can do is we can create a variable called total, and then we can add the sum to that variable. Okay, so we can add all those element one by one to that total variable, and then we can return the sum. You will understand it when I just type the code. So I'm going to create a variable total, and mind you, I'm not creating a constant because we cannot change the value of constant. That's why I'm using the let keyword here, and I'm creating a variable. Okay, and now we are going to use for loop. So you know this stuff, it is very easy. Let I is equal to 0, I is less than numbers dot length. So let me just put a semicolon here, and I is less than numbers dot length and I plus plus. And inside this loop, so this loop, we are using this loop, and we will loop through every element of this array. We will loop through every single element of this array, and here we will add that element to this total variable. Okay, so how can we do that? Well, we can just type in total, so total, and then we can say total plus number I. Okay, I mean, this is pretty basic stuff, and I have taught this to you in our JavaScript series, so you should know this. But if you don't, just let me know in the chat box, and I will explain every single line of code. And here we are going to just return that total, just like that. Alright, now I have saved it, and I'll call the function here. So first up, I'll use this console.log, which I most of the time forget, and then I will call this function sum of numbers, and I will pass an array. So I'll just create an array over here. So let array is equal to, and 1 2 3 and 4, that's it. And inside of here I have to pass this array. Alright, now I have just saved this program, or save this file, and I will, first up I will just comment this out, and I will just refresh this, and you will see the result 10. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 6 plus 4 is 10. So this was our second program, and it was also pretty easy. If you have any question, and if you are having any trouble regarding, if you are not able to understand this problem or the solution, just let me know. Okay, so Devashish Mehta, I am a Python programmer. I just want a simple portfolio website. How much would it cost? Well, you can build it yourself. Some basic you can get a template for free. There are many templates which are available for free, and you can get that template, and then you can use it. Okay, you will just have to change some text and change some images. I'm sure that that would not be a trouble. All right, now let's just get to the third program. So write a function which will take a number and print the table. We all know this, and this is very easy, right? We have all learned this table. So 3 into 1 equal to 3, and 3 into 2 equal to 6. So we just have to do this. Okay, so we have to write a function which will take a number, and that function will print its table, and that's what we have to do, and it's pretty easy. So we will create a function first, okay, and that function will be called print table, just like that, and that will take a number. So I'm just saying number over here, and I'll just open the curly braces. Pretty easy stuff, you already know this. Now I'm just going to write a loop, which is pretty basic. I mean, you know that we just have to loop through I 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and then we have to just multiply it and then print it. It's pretty basic. So let I equal to, and now here I'm going to say 1 because we don't want to start from 0, we have to start from 1. All right, and I is less than 11 because we want to end at 10. And then I plus plus, pretty basic stuff, and here we have to print it. We don't want to return anything, we just want to print the elements, so we just have to print it. So here I'm going to use the backtick, which will allow me to embed some expression in this line of a statement. And then I'll just use this num, so I will just multiply this num, so num, and then I will put this symbol because this will be my number, and then I want the symbol, that's why I wrote that symbol over here. And then we need that I over here, which will be 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4, so I need that too. So there is my I, and then we want to write equal to, and then we will multiply the num into I. So again this expression, and then num into I. Pretty basic stuff. So let's just print this table, so print table, and here we are going to pass 3, and then I will also check it with 5. So let's just comment it out. So I've just commented it out, and there we go. So I'm just going to refresh it, and you will see the result. So I into, yeah, there's some error. Oh yeah, I've used this symbol for 2 times, so let me just remove that, and I'm going to save it again, and I'm going to refresh it, and then you can see the table. And if we change the value, then we will get the table for 5, we can get the table for 10, 20, 50, 60, 70, any number that you want. So this was also pretty busy. We just used a for loop, and we looped through I, and the I will start from 1 and then it will end at 10, and then we are just printing every element, and then we are multiplying over here. So this was pretty basic. If you know how backtick works, and if you know how a basic for loop works, then this should be very easy for you. How to remove the last element of an array in JS. So to remove the last element, you can use the pop method. Okay, JavaScript looks simple. I will give it a try. Reached here via random YouTube suggestion. Well, thankfully YouTube is now suggesting me because well, if you have reached here via random YouTube suggestion, well then thank you YouTube, and thank you. Can you please share the challenge list? Yeah, obviously I'll share it in the end. You can also go to my channel, and I have a playlist where I have solved these 10 challenges that we are going to do. The first 5 challenges we are going to do today, and the last 5 challenges we are going to do next Saturday, or next Sunday, not Saturday. Okay, so now on to the 4th challenge. Write a function which will take an array of number, and we have to calculate all the element. We have to calculate the average of all the element, and then we have to return it. Well, it is also pretty basic because we have done this over and over again. We have to just write a function which will take an array. All right, so let's just get done that stuff. So find average, I will name this function. So I'll name this function find average, and this is going to take an array of numbers. So I'm going to call the parameter numbers. So the first part is done. Write a function which will take an array of numbers. So that we have done. We are done with that. We have written a function that will take an array of numbers, and now we have to calculate the average of all the element, and then we have to return it. Well, this is also pretty basic because we know the formula to find the average, right? We have to just add all those elements. We just need the sum of all those elements, and then we have to divide it by the number of element. All right, so we just need the sum of all those element, of all those members, of all those numbers. We just need to calculate the sum of all those numbers, and then we will divide it with the number of element. Okay, pretty easy. I mean, if you are having any trouble, then please let me know. No? Yeah, okay. So yeah, so again we have to find the sum, and we have done this in this second challenge, so I'm not going to go through it again. I'll just do it very very fast. Okay, I will not explain it. So we just need the sum, and we have done that in challenge number 2. So for I can copy the code, but it's not a good idea to copy the code. So pretty basic stuff. Let I equal to 0, y less than numbers dot length, and I plus plus. And if you are wondering why is my suggestion very good, well, I'm using a plugin called tab9, and the suggestion, the AI of this plugin is great. It will save you a lot of time if you install that plugin in your IDE. It's called tab9. That's why I'm getting some great code suggestion or auto completion. Alright, so now we just need to find the sum. It's pretty easy. We can use total plus equal to. Also total plus equal to numbers is equal to total is equal to total plus number. This is just a fancy way of writing that. Okay, and here we don't want to return that total, we want to return the average. All right, we want to return the average, and we have got the sum. Okay, we have got the sum of all the element, we have that. Now we just need to return the average. So what will be the average? Our average will be total by the number of elements. So how do we find the number of element? We use dot length. So numbers dot length, our array name is numbers, so we just call that dot length property, and then we will get the number, the length of the array, or the number of elements that are there in the array. And this is our formula. So we have the sum here, and we have the number of element, and there we go. This is our average, so we can just return it like that. All right, now I will just console log this, console log the result, and yeah, find average. And I can use, yeah, I will just copy this. Yeah, I'll not copy, I'll just do it again. So nums is equal to 5, 10, 15 and 20, and then I will pass nums here, and I've just saved it, and I will go back here, and then I will refresh this, and there is a reference error, num is not defined. Okay, so num, oh yeah, obviously num is not defined, I've called it nums here. You probably saw that error. I make some mistakes, I make some silly mistakes. Yeah, there we go. So NaN, well, what is the error here? Let's figure it out together. First up, I'll just comment that. So what is the error here? Let total is equal to 0, obviously, great. Const average is equal to can any of you tell me what is the error here? Can any one of you tell me what is the error here? I mean, it's pretty basic mistake. It's a very basic mistake, and I'm sure you have caught it. So just let me know what is the error. Can't we run JavaScript in a console instead of HTML page? Yeah, we can. You will have to install Node.js. You can install Node.js, and then you can run JavaScript inside of your console. You don't need to use the browser, and I am using browser because it's easier to teach in browser. Otherwise, for running every single line of code, I will have to teach I will have to write some command, and that will make it confusing. That's why I'm using the browser, but obviously you can. So no answers here. Well, just try to find the mistake on line number 44. I am making a very very silly mistake here. I have to look I What I need to do here is, I don't need to add the entire array. I need to add the element one by one, and that was my mistake. We have learned one lesson from this mistake, that don't follow the auto completion blindly. I used the auto completion here and it was wrong. So let's just run this program again, and I think that so we have got the average here. You can also make this code shorter, because obviously you don't need to create a constant here. You can just directly return it, because obviously we are not using this average anywhere else, so we can just return it. Okay, so we don't need to create a variable here or a constant here. We can directly return it, because we are obviously not going to we are not using that average constant anywhere below that code. So we can just directly do this, and it will make our code a little shorter, which is something that you should strive for. Yeah, so again, refresh this, and this is working. So this was our challenge number 4, and if you guys have any question regarding any of these 4 challenges, do let me know. Devasis Mehta, it consists of console.log, like C# contains. Yeah, in C# we also have I have written some C# some 4 or 5 years ago. I think there was this write line method like that. Can you just let me know? Okay, so on to the 4th challenge, or the 5th challenge. Yeah, so in the 5th challenge, we have to write a function which will find a number in an array of number. So basically this function will take 2 parameters. It will take a number, and then it will take an array of number, and we have to find whether that number is available in that array or not. And if it is available, then we have to return true, and if it is not available, then we have to return false. It is also easy. I mean, you just need to use a for loop, and then you just need to use an if statement, and inside the for loop you have to find whether that number is equal to the number of each element or not, and if that is equal, then we just have to return it. So I'll just write that. I'll make this function name find number in array, and this will take number and numbers, or to make it less confusing, I will just say it num and numbers. Okay, and first up we have to loop through every element of the numbers array, and by now I think that you know this stuff. I'm just not going to explain it. So let I equal to 0, but if you want the explanation, obviously let me know. So numbers dot length, and I plus plus, pretty easy stuff, and console dot log, and here we have to pass numbers I. So this will be an example. This will show you that we are looping through every element of the numbers array. So I'll just pass an array here. First up, I will just comment this code, otherwise our console line will get blotted with all this previous code that we have written. So let array is equal to 1 2 3 4 5, and let's just pass this. All right, so I've just saved this program, and I'm going to refresh this, and length, well, yeah, I is less than numbers dot length. cannot read property length of undefined. Hmm. What is the error here? Well, let's just print that number first because I think that we have to use that variable. That's why it's yelling at me. Yeah, we need to use all those parameters that we have declared over here. Otherwise, we can't use the properties. Yeah, well, let me just type that out. No, 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 no. That shouldn't be the mistake because I have. Okay, why this auto completion is screwing everything up? Uncaught type error cannot read length length of undefined. Yeah, again a silly mistake. We are passing only one parameter here and we need to pass two parameters. So with our array right now in this function call is the first parameter, but we need two parameter here, and again this was a very silly mistake. I mean really silly mistake. And this is what happens in coding. It happens all the time. You will make mistakes and you will make some silly mistake. I remember one time when I was obviously working on a project. The project was like a forum, and then I spent 4 hours debugging all the code, and it was a silly mistake. I have named the variable something else and I was calling it something else. So I named the variables, I don't remember it correctly, but I just during calling the function, or sorry, it was calling the function. Yeah, during calling the function, I misspelled, and I had to spend 4 hours fixing that bug or fixing that typo, and it happens all the time. Well, hopefully you have seen my silly mistake, and here we go. So now you can see that we are looping through every. Now you can see that we are looping through every element. We are looping through every single element one by one. It's pretty basic. Now now what we want to do is we want to check whether this number is available in that numbers array or not. And it's pretty simple. We just need to use the if statement, and then we just need to find whether this element is equal to that element or not, whether this element is equal to the number or not, this num or not. And it's pretty basic. And if it is, then we just return it. So we return true, because that's what the function is saying, that if the number is available in the array, then we just return true, otherwise we return false. So we are using a for loop and we are looping through every single element, and in every iteration, in every single iteration, we are checking whether that element, that current element, is equal to the number or not. And if it is equal, then we are just returning it, we are returning true right away. But we have ran this loop and we can't find any number, or we can't find that number in our array, right? So we have run this loop and we have not returned it, and we have not returned true. It basically means that we have not found the number. Then what we need to do is we need to return false. Okay, so if you are if you are having any trouble understanding this true or false, why are we returning false, then please let me know. I'll try to explain it once again. But yeah, let's just save this program and then refresh, and nothing will happen because we need to use console.log. So I don't know why am I making so much of typing mistake. Why am I making so many mistakes? Yeah, so true. And if we change the number here to 7, then obviously 7 is not available in this array, so it will return false. Yeah, I will again try to explain this logic. We are looping through every single element of this loop, of this numbers loop, and we are checking if that number is equal to that particular element. And if it is equal, then we are returning true. Right there, we are returning from the function. But if we have not returned from the function, if we have not returned true and the loop is over, it basically means that we have not found that number in the array, and that's why we are just returning false here. Okay, so let's save this, and yeah, it is working. Now let me see the, yeah, Devasis Mehta, you were correct. Two parameters are to be found. Absolutely correct. दिव्यांशु सर प्लीज एक्सप्लेन इन हिंदी. जो भी आज कोडिंग चैलेंज हम कर रहे हैं वो सभी के सभी चैलेंजेस मैंने हिंदी में अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया है. चैनल पे एक जावास्क्रिप्ट कोडिंग चैलेंज वाली सीरीज़ है, वहाँ पे तुम जाओ, वहाँ पे तुम्हें सभी वीडियोस मिल जाएंगी. वहाँ पे मैंने हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन किया है अभी सभी के सभी प्रोग्राम्स को. ठीक है, तो वो सभी के सभी वीडियोस अवेलेबल हैं. ये लाइव स्ट्रीम मैं इसलिए कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि हमारे एक व्यूअर ने कहा था कि उसे इंग्लिश में चाहिए, तो इसलिए मैं ये लाइव स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ. बट अगर तुम्हें हिंदी में देखना है तो इस चैनल पे एक सीरीज़ अवेलेबल है. रुको, मैं लिंक तुम्हें दे देता हूँ. तुम यहाँ पे आ सकते हो मेरे चैनल पे, और यहाँ पे प्लेलिस्ट में तुम्हें कोडिंग चैलेंजेस विद जावास्क्रिप्ट वाली सीरीज़ मिलेगी. जो भी आज हम 5 किए हैं, जो भी आज के हमारे पाँचों के पाँचों चैलेंज हैं, वो तुम्हारे यही हैं. सिंपल इंटरेस्ट, देन सम ऑफ नंबर, देन प्रिंट टेबल, देन फाइंड एवरेज ऑफ एरे, एंड देन फाइंड ए नंबर इन एरे, जो कि हमारा ये लास्ट 5वां था. वो सभी यहाँ पे तुम्हें हिंदी में अवेलेबल मिलेगा. और या और देवाशीष ने कहा था, कैन यू प्लीज़ शेयर द लिस्ट. वेल, ये रही, ये यहाँ पे तुम देख सकते हो. हमने आज शुरुआत की, ये 5 चैलेंज किए हैं, और नेक्स्ट संडे को हम फाइंड पॉजिटिव नंबर इन एरे करेंगे, फाइंड लार्जेस्ट नंबर इन एरे करेंगे, फेस बस चैलेंज इन जावास्क्रिप्ट करेंगे, रिवर्स एन एरे इन जावास्क्रिप्ट करेंगे, और मर्ज एरे इन जावास्क्रिप्ट. तो नेक्स्ट संडे को हम ये बाकी के 5 चैलेंज करेंगे. ये यहाँ पे मैं ये लिंक शेयर कर देता हूँ. I'll just share this link, and this link will be helpful to both Divyanshu, because he can just watch all those videos in Hindi, and it will also give you the list, Devashish. So it will also give you the list of all the programs that we are going to do next. So here is the playlist. And Swapnodeep, if you have any question, or if anyone has any question, do let me know, because right now we are done with today. We have solved all those 5 programs, 5 coding challenges, and this is going to be it. If you don't have any question, then I'm just going to end the series, or in this live stream. So just let me know, or if you have any question regarding anything, just let me know. I'll try to answer that. Devasis Mehta, bye. Okay, bye. Swapnodeep, if you have any question, just let me know. I'll try to answer that. No question. Thanks a lot. Well, welcome. I've given you the playlist. If you want to watch all those videos, you can just go to the playlist and you can watch every single video one by one. All of them are available in Hindi. Jai Hind, Jai Hind, Bharat Mata ki Jai. Alright, so that's it. No questions. Okay, so I'm just going to end this session. I'll see you next Sunday. Next Sunday, same time, I will do another stream, and we will solve the remaining 5 challenges. If you guys have any suggestion for any video, if you have any request for any series, do let me know and I will do it. Okay, I might take a week or two, but I will probably do it, and I will surely do it. And yeah, from Wednesday, or not from Wednesday, I am working on this Python series, which I've been really excited about. The entire series will be available in Hindi. So if anyone of you want to learn Python programming, then make sure that you subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to post at least two videos every single week, and you can learn Python programming from that series. We will start from the very basic. We will start with installing Python and installing PyCharm IDE, and then we will go on to learn about variables, if else statement, loops, functions, classes, and objects. So we will learn all of that. We will learn all the basic fundamentals of the Python programming language. And the entire series will be obviously available in Hindi. Everything will be available in Hindi. But if you really want me to do the same content in English, then also let me know. But I will do it after I finish the entire series in Hindi. So after finishing the entire series in Hindi, I will do a series if you want me to, or I'll just do a live stream and I will teach you Python live. I think that will be better. Yeah, that will be better. So if you want me to, I will do it. Alright, that's enough talking. We have been live for over 46 minutes and we have solved this challenge. So that's it. That's going to be it for this stream. And I'm going to just end the stream now. So take care, all of you, and bye.